Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Sabri bin Muhammad Saleh, DHM 193013. My partner's name is Muhammad Akram Zuhair, DHM 201 Muhammad Fawaz bin Samsudin bin DHM 201 Muhammad Nuraiman bin Zahari, DHM 193012. We want to present about halal logistic. Okay, for introduction, I will present. Logistic is the biggest supply chain in the world. Almost all countries linked their domestic relationship through logistics system. But nowadays we had demands for halal logistics because the population of halal consumers are increasing, even in non-Muslim consumers. The reason for increasing consumerism is clean and hygienable products, also about increasing Muslim population. So for protect purity of product, we must provide the halal supply chain, halal logistic. In supply chain, logistic plays significant role in ensuring the integrity of halal products at the point of consumption. Logistic activities in general comprise of inbound and outbound transportation and fleet management, storage and warehousing, handling of goods, order fulfillment, logistic network design and inventory management, supply demands planning, as well as management of third-party logistic service providers. A product could easily lose its halalness if it contaminates during transport and storage prior to retailing. This chapter overviews halal logistic in the halal supply chain and then highlights the significant role of ports in enhancing the halal supply chain performance. In addition, issues and challenges faced by the logistic companies in adopting halal logistic are briefly discussed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nuraiman bin Zahari, DHM 193012. Today I will present about our research that we take. The first point is halal concept. First, you must know what is halal concept. The term halal is derived from the Quran and refer to something which is lawful, allowed, permitted and legal. On the other hand, the opposite of halal is haram, which means illegal, unlawful and prohibited. The halal haram rules and regulations are not just applied to the habits of Muslims, but the scope covers much wider aspects such as dress, speech, behavior, manner and conduct. Next, the fundamental principle of halal haram include the permissibility of things and only has the right to make something prohibited or lawful. Allowing haram and forbidding halal is completely against the basic and general regulation of the faith. The reason behind prohibition is the harmfulness and impurity of things. What is haram and necessary, and what is halal is etiquette. Something that is taken to haram is haram itself. Presenting the haram as halal incorrect is forbidden. Good purpose, not change to haram to halal. It's recommended to avoid suspicious things, irrespective of the schools of thought. The haram is forbidden to everybody. Next, there are two standards used by the halal certified logistic companies, namely the MS 1900 2014, that is Qualified Management System Requirements from the Islam perspective, and the MS 2400 2010, which is Halalan Thayyiban Assurance Pipeline Standards. This standard have been developed by the Department of Standard Malaysia. The aim of the standard are to link producer of products, goods, cargo with consumer, provider, insurance the product, goods and cargo delivered from the one custodian to another are in the accordance with Halalan Thayyiban requirements, and they preserve the Halal Thayyiban integrity of the products, good and cargo. Thank you. The second point is the role of port in halal logistics. Ports play a vital role as logistic platforms in halal supply chain. It acts as a gateway in which the logistical handling of cargo is performed through four systems, especially transfer, deliver or receive, ship and storage. Next, the establishment of halal port is an interest to the logistical service provider to ensure the integrity of halal products and consequently exchange the halal supply chain performance. Despite the growing interest in halal logistics, the concept of halal port is relatively new and studies on this topic are still under research. From the economical perspective, ports are considered as a driving force through their transformation role, an important organ of economic growth both nationally and internationally that contributes to the country's gross domestic product. Next, the halal controls and insurance activity conduct the transport, warehouse and terminal should be clearly examined in preserving the halal status of the goods. Similar to the transformation, the management must ensure that there is a physical segregation of halal products from non-halal products during the warehouse and terminal process to avoid contamination. That's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Akram Zuhair bin Zulkifli. My matric number DHM 201010. Today I want to talk about halal logistic. First, basic needs for halal logistic implementation. Although many studies have examined the concept of halal logistic implementation from policymakers, service on halal standard and technology for halal logistic, but most likely there are still lack of studies to assess the basic requirement to implement halal logistic, especially in daily operation. Thus, the main concern of this study is to explore the feasibility of current practice of the halal development system, the halal logistic certification and monitoring and enforcement system in daily practice in Malaysia. Second element, halal logistic. In producing halal product, the main important principle that should be focused on is that the product must not be contaminated with non-halal product at any time. Thus, in this case, logistics is seen as one of the possible part of the supply chain that has hidden risk to halal integrity. Ideally, transport vessel should be ritualistically clean and consignment properly segregate to ensure requirement are complied with and logistic devote to the delivery of halal product. However, the main challenge of producing halal logistic supply chain arises as there are very few number of halal logistic supply certified to meet halal demand. Not to mention on the implementation side, where process and procedure still cannot be standard among port operation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fahad bin Samsudin. My meeting number DHM201002. My part is issue and challenges. First among the issue and challenges include disunity of halal certification, high cost and low demand of the halal logistic, the role of park. Halal, second, halal is now as a region issue, which is explain the reason why there is less state intervention of halal development. And last, there is still no unified halal standard and logo that may be applicable across the world. Next, Malaysian role and influence at the global level. First, since the launch of the state standard MS 1500 in 2004, Malaysia has emerged as a leading player in the global halal market and the major actor in the global standard debate. Second, the significance of MS 1500 at the global level is evident in its citation by Codex Alimentarius Commission as the best example in the world in terms of notification of halal food. That's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
In conclusion, this chapter extends our knowledge and understanding on the halal supply chain, specifically the role of halal ports in halal logistics. This includes halal control and assurance activities in logistic processes, such as having a dedicated halal warehouse and transport, or through containerization at a lower level. Although the port's daily activities include both halal and non-halal products, halal supply chain integrity could potentially provide a reliable platform for delivering the halal products to the end consumers based on the haram Islamic rules. According to some of the latest studies, in the area of full alignment of value chain and the supply chain is required in the halal supply chain approach in order to satisfy the end consumer and guarantee that their goods are truly halal and in accordance with Islamic principle. The integrity of supply chain is crucial in providing the assurance to the consumers worldwide, especially the Muslims. The issues and challenges discussed above are built on existing research in the literature. These challenges are irrelated, which suggests that the challenges should be addressed collectively, because addressing this issue individually is not feasible. It is recommended to conduct a qualitative research on the application of halal in the management of halal ports and their related activities in the halal supply chains. In addition to this, performing case studies at specific ports would also be useful in assessing the role of implementation of halal ports in their supply chain process. Thank you.